was it like in the early days, representing such a large area?
Well, it was a fourth of the state, and it was, 300 miles north and south, and maybe about 70 or 80 miles east and west. And in a campaign, the big problem was getting around because you can't just depend upon your home county of Spokane, although it was a big part of the district in terms of votes. You had to go to Ponderay County in the north and to Walla Walla County in the south. And the great fear, which sometimes was realized, is the schedulers would put you at a breakfast near the border of Canada and a lunch near the border in Oregon. And, even with private planes, it was hard to get there. But we did use a lot of private aircraft and private pilots who would volunteer. And I remember one time in the campaign period, I was going to a lumber meeting and agreed to fly up in a Bonanza with another guy and the pilot. And we got over the Okanagan Forest, and I said to the pilot, I don't mind flying in single-engine aircraft, but over a heavy country like this, I kind of prefer sometimes to have two engines. And he said, you don't have to worry about these engines. They're very reliable. They never quit and so on. And just then, the engine sputtered and quit. And I used to have a superstition that anticipated evils don't occur, where it's been talking about this, so it wasn't supposed to happen. And oil spews all over the windscreen of the plane, and the pilot is saying, Mayday, Mayday, 78284 Whiskey, 78284 Whiskey, Mayday, coming down over the Keller Ferry, blah, 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 blah. And so I'm looking out the window, and I see a field up there, and I tell the pilot, there's a field over here. I said, no, I want to go down by the river. I don't want to go to a remote area like that. I think we're going to get messed up here, and I want somebody to find us. And so we're flying. You're flying dead stick. There's no engine. And I'm sitting back, and instead of being frightened, I remember being angry, thinking, why did I go on this trip? I really didn't need to go on this trip, And I could see the headline, Solon dies in air crash, committee meets for successor. And anyway, we flew down over some high-tension wires and over a couple of irrigation districts, and I was in the back of the plane, and I thought, it's going to flip and burn. I'm going to get caught back here. And we bounce across this field, to make a long story short, and land about 5 feet from the fence. And the other passenger and I get out, and we literally dance. And I don't know where he kissed the ground, but coming close to it. And the pilot gets out, and we have to help him off the wing. He's shaking so badly. And I said, Dick, that was fantastic. That was wonderful. He said, I've simulated that 200 times with students, but I've never actually had to do it before. And the farmer comes across the field with an old Chevrolet and a 12-year-old son in the front seat and yells out before he stops, are you having any trouble? Well, when you miss a bullet, you kind of relaxed and even kind of giddy, and I felt totally relaxed, and I went up to him and I said, no, sir, no trouble at all. My friends and I wanted to stop in your nice farm here, and because it's getting around election time, and I'm running for re-election. My name is Tom Foley. I'd like to have your vote. And just for a minute, he believed me and thought I was absolutely crazy. They had to truck the airplane out. But I think that big geographic area was always some extent a challenge. But it was also a great district to represent because it had marvelous differences in topography and climate and, everything from the great wheat fields of the Palouse in the south to the forests of the northern area and wilderness areas in the north. It was a great district. And I was always, I think as all members are, very honored to represent for so many years 500,000 or so people that will live there.